Good afternoon. I'm Melanie Jones, and I'm here to introduce the last session of the day that we're going to enjoy for Chuck. It is called Single Pane of Glass, Managing 1,000+ Wireless Access Points. It has been pre-recorded by one of our wireless technicians, Darren Moling, and he will be available at the end of the session to answer questions live. So if you please use the link in the chat to submit your questions, we'll follow up with Darren when the video is over. Thank you.
Welcome to Digital Check 2020.
All right, we're good.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome. I'm starting the timer for 18 minutes.
Managing 1,000+
Okay. I'm going to watch it, Darren.
APs.
Okay.
Hello, Check attendees. My name is Darren Moling. I am one of the network administrators here at ESU. Today, I want to share with you a little bit of information about wireless management in an ever-changing environment. Let's start at the beginning to give you some history of our own Wi-Fi ups and downs. Our first attempt at Wi-Fi was all right for the early Wi-Fi years. Cisco Systems Wireless was our first go-to in uncharted territory of indoor wireless on campus. Pictured here was the latest and greatest AP for the time, a Cisco 1130 AP. I believe that was an ABG 2.4 GHz capable radio. That network consisted of about 120 APs deployed within campus buildings. Our res hall coverage was spotty at best within our 50 to 100-year-old buildings. The students' Wi-Fi was convenience that just didn't perform very well in actual dorm rooms. Each of these APs were controlled by an on-prem controller. I believe it was something along the lines of a 5508. As time passed on, demand for wireless coverage in all areas, including outdoors, was becoming apparent. Wireless started becoming difficult to manage without dedicating full-time staff to maintain all the different networks consistently throughout our campus. The ESU administration heard the students' need for better wireless and gave the marching orders to find or create a more affordable solution with outdoor coverage. Network staff at the time started looking into alternatives to their current wireless setup. Campus-wide coverage inside and outdoors was going to be a large task that had never been done before on ESU's campus. The network team at the time discovered Aruba Wireless with all of its amazing capabilities, utilizing ClearPass as a tool to create wireless network rules and AD authentication. Pictured is an Aruba 225 AP that outperformed almost anything at the time. They started utilizing 2x2 and 3x3 MIMO technologies. Managing on-prem Wi-Fi. So at this point in time, ESU decides to forklift Cisco and put Aruba Wireless APs everywhere, indoors and outdoors, endeavoring to save money, yet gain a more specialized solution that fit ESU's needs. That particular project took over a year to design and configure, and almost a whole nother year to deploy all 400+ APs, inside and out. Not bad for 3 guys working on that every other network-related task. Trying to stay busy doing your own personalized work and doing a huge project. It was a tough task, but we got it done. So Aruba is a great wireless system that did amazing things like offer guest portal and authentication on multiple SSIDs inside and outdoors. But the training, costs, time to configure and make changes, along with the cost of on-prem controllers that need updates and expansion, was painstaking at best for ESU. The overall cost for owning this system was just becoming too great to keep on expanding. Wireless questions and changes. There were questions that left staff constantly changing to improve how wireless was used. Students wanted to work just like at home, especially in the res halls. Professors and staff realized the convenience of wireless and now would like to have all office areas covered. How are we ever going to keep up without hiring full-time staff to do nothing but maintain our wireless networks? Airheads Wireless Conference. So at Airheads Wireless Conference in Las Vegas, we learned that HP bought Aruba without any prior notice or warning to ESU. Now we had an HP product, which didn't set so well with a lot of folks at ESU. ESU has always been more of a Cisco shop. This left us wondering where Aruba was headed under the direction of HP. Was it another 3Com and going to be absorbed and fade away? At that point, we started looking into the future. It looked bleak. Unsure what the future held since we were 5 years in and needing to upgrade controllers with a hefty price tag to keep up our wireless expansion. Around that time, Cisco reps tell us about a recent acquisition of a cloud-based wireless company called Meraki, and how it would make managing our wireless easy without the use of on-prem controllers. It sounds great, but that only works for small medium business, not enterprise class networks, right? Wrong. Turns out Cisco Meraki had been growing rapidly right along with great R&D and can handle any size deployment even with mesh capabilities. But what about the cost of changing to another wireless solution? Here we go again. Cost to change can be expensive. The network team had a decision to make. Figure out the best way to go about upgrading our current Aruba HP controllers at a substantial amount of money, or try to switch entirely to a new wireless system. This decision was not easy, an easy one to make considering how much money, time, effort was put into developing the current Aruba platform. The network team decided we could change platforms again by eliminating the need for wireless controller upgrades and staying right where we were with Aruba and start dedicating the money towards the purchase of new Meraki APs. We were able to spend that money on new different Meraki APs and licensing without the need for an on-prem wireless controller. So more or less we took all the money from what we were going to upgrade to with Aruba and just started sinking into purchasing APs and licensing. Not needing any controller saved us a ton of money. Here's a picture of some of what the Meraki products look like. Picture looks like some Meraki 30Hs and a couple of switches. And so it begins, another wireless system to learn. Really, it only took 1 day of free training to familiarize ourselves with the dashboard enough to start customizing our own. This can't be that simple, but it was. In little to no time, we got our new wireless networks designed, built, and tested. So, ESU forklifts Aruba for Cisco Meraki. Top things the network team needed to do: build wireless networks and dashboard, build wireless indoor and outdoor profiles in the dashboard, configure SSIDs in the dashboard, configure tags in the dashboard, import APs into the dashboard. A whole lot of work, but at least it's all done in one single dashboard. Then we had to go back and name and deploy all APs in the field in Meraki dashboard and using the app on my iPhone. Here's a picture of Meraki dashboard and the iPhone app. 80% coverage after migrating to Meraki. 80% of the campus was covered at that point. We'd put it inside the buildings and outdoors. ESU balanced having 2 wireless solutions in play at the same time. We overhauled one building at a time with Cisco Meraki while keeping Aruba Wireless up and going in other buildings. This was a real trick. Students were a little bit confused, but we managed to get through it okay. The Meraki migration took less than 9 months using 2 staff members and 1 student worker. Of course, most of the cabling was already in place, which sped up the process. When all of the main campus buildings were completed, it was time to concentrate on the res halls. One of the biggest complaints by students was the dorm Wi-Fi. Our biggest hurdle, improving Wi-Fi in the res halls. Wi-Fi coverage is almost impossible using hallway APs that don't actually cover everywhere inside the dorm rooms. We needed to find a better solution for our students. With wireless being hard to control and satisfy every single resident in the res halls, we needed a new type of low-powered single-room style AP, something that could mount on the wall to use existing cabling in every room. The biggest complaint, it just doesn't work like at home. Students want a game, they want to watch Netflix, YouTube, use their Chromecast devices, wireless printing, streaming content, everything wireless. I'm not sure students nowadays even know what an Ethernet cable is. So, students need wireless in every dorm room. Meraki had the perfect solution, an AP in every dorm room with 4 Ethernet ports for hardwiring devices. That cost was steep, but worth every penny to give the students a better life experience on our campus. Wireless has never been better for the students or staff at ESU. After the new AP implementation, the help desk tickets have dropped dramatically to almost non-existent compared to previous years. No more setting up IT help desk staff at every res hall during move-in times. No more having to show every student how to log on to the Wi-Fi. We now welcome students with Connect to Hornet Hall Wi-Fi. Here's your password, and we're done. They can use that Hornet Hall Wi-Fi however they want. It's wide open. It's easy encryption. It works perfect for students, almost just like being at home. Here's a picture of the Meraki 30H hospitality AP that we installed. This allowed every dorm room to be completely covered. As a matter of fact, we had a switch go down, and none of the students even realized that the 3rd floor of the res hall was offline. Luckily, we get alerts. We knew it was offline, but since the students didn't notice, we were able to go over there and work during the middle of the day, change out the switch, put a new one in, and the coverage continued from all the other APs still active within the building. Nobody even knew what happened. That was awesome. This is a picture of 3 different APs we have installed around our campus for different applications. The MR52 is a great high-density 2 gig uplink ports available for channelized bandwidth. It shows you there's a power port, power over Ethernet, and a network port. You can run 1 cable to these APs or 2 cables to the APs and channelize them for twice the bandwidth. And it actually works. Aruba had the same thing on their 225s, but it never worked. Any of these APs will come up with automatically mesh with other existing APs if no network is detected, meaning as long as it has power, it will work using other APs around it as a wireless extender, which is a pretty cool feature. I know we have one of these in a concession stand that there's just no way we could possibly get Ethernet to, but we've got power there. So we put a PoE adapter in, plugged it in, brought it online. It meshed and synced up with other APs around it, and now there's wireless in that area that just wasn't there before. The MR72 for outdoor wireless coverage is another AP that we use. The one with 4 antennas sticking out of it. Just mounts on the side of buildings. It's pretty simple. The MR32 was another AP that we used in the top right. And that's pretty much scattered throughout campus in all of our less dense populated areas. It's just a good strong AP, one of their first APs that we purchased from Meraki. With over 1,000 APs and lots of different wireless networks living on one dashboard, it becomes easy to use and has the ability to make changes on the fly without interrupting other networks, other APs, or all APs at once. Really good stuff. This single pane of glass, as they call it, has made managing multiple wireless networks a much easier, less complicated, yet more diverse and user-friendly environment. If this was a live check presentation, I would show you just how easy we can make changes to Wi-Fi, but it's not so. You just have to trust me, it works. The Meraki dashboard even has a wish button that allows you to give direct feedback to Meraki engineers for adding new features and tools to the dashboard that IT admin want and need. So literally, if you have a great idea, you can click on the wish button, type it in, it'll get to the engineers, and 9 times out of 10, if your idea is good and it's something they can add, whether it's wireless health, different ways to check on APs or radio frequencies, they've added so much to the dashboard tools that we used to pay $5,000 a month, or not a month, a year, for Ekahau, which is a great software for heat mapping and wireless, figuring out where to deploy everything and how everything's working. We don't own Ekahau anymore because we just don't really need it. Meraki dashboard does almost everything we need right in the dashboard. We can ping devices. It shows us what AP neighbor radios are interfering, any rogue APs. I mean, just about everything you could want, it does. And they're continually adding to it. And the nice thing is that software is always updated by Meraki. It's not something we got to go down and upgrade and take days off or anything like that. It just happens. You come back to work and there's new feature updates all the time. The end result of changing to a cloud-based wireless system is fantastic in almost every way for us here at ESU. Top reasons why we switched to the cloud: easy to access from anywhere with no VPN required. Easy to configure and deploy. Easy for any one person to manage. Automated updates. Easy to swap out APs or change APs to a different network or SSID. Every Meraki ESU network is controlled by a single pane of glass. Meraki cloud-based wireless system has changed the way we work on wireless. For ESU, ditching the on-prem controller was the best way to move forward, giving students the best possible experience with Wi-Fi we can.
Thank you everyone for watching today. That is the end of our video. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning, so if you missed the first part of it, you can go back to the sessions page, click the Watch Now button, and you can see the entire presentation without missing any of it. Additionally, if you do have questions for our presenter, Darren Moling, you can still use the Submit a Question link on the session page, and he will get those questions via email, and then he can respond to those questions. Again, thank you so much for participating in the last session of the day. We hope to see you tomorrow. Good night.